Tiffany Ashafo me ma ha misama kwaba edoba daily update TV so ene na wo hwe dwumadi na ene die kwa so na subscribe no share na do comment show chairman general credit to ready good morning so na chairman ekasaye na kakra na dim sense na no ensem na no ano ahipam sem na oka chairman na o filmi and say he films Bawumia with Bible verse. Now, some more kind is about Bawumia and some more becano. Okay, say Bawumia, a dear uncle Bawumia or admitted fact or admitted the blame. But Bawumia, I know say this mess and ankasa won't come one. I say in send him. So I know person will portray no. Say this mess and ankasa in send him. And a chairman can say Bawumia is not making sense. Yeah, ne interview ne granted chairman general said Nketiah am can also the chairman for a National Democratic Congress no. And waka say anka the also Bawumia yenu waka say oh Ghana for no kre mon fanche eno de no kre ya ban we de adnema jiegu na say nneema jinsamu but mon fanche na muhu ya mobo na monsa for power maye na yebetoto nneema yi osis we na wose Bawumia eka ase we na wose Bawumia eka e de kire Ghana for you hu say wose enokra would be better say Bawumia be ka say omoto abama na obeyi levy obeyi betting tax. Bawumia is trying to portray say or no this mess na ankasa wonka hu bi or betray Akufo-Addo alone. And a time I bonechi hard one say no. I was all children say Ghana for no cremo fanche with a mini Akufo-Addo. A more man ato munsesi form. And I am Ghana for nsesi form monfanche. Na any man entry na monsa fa power ndumye na yen monhwede bitumi aye sisi no ya besisane mam. This is the type of communication was a Bawumia edema Ghana for. Na eni kwanso obekika say moto abamamia may leave film so may we film so na just Bawumia part say the etwegu ye nyina about taxes dey pay Ghana for so nyina oni mo hwe o which is what betray Akufo-Addo big time. I daily update TV so Nketiah no chairman general Nketiah and American no so me na meto ankomo didie ni so na fa comment show respectfully share video no na like na afofran so nya bi hwe yen komra na meto ankomo didie ni so. God bless you with all due respect.
Already general, so ask the secretary to me and now I'll become the general secretary. So,
oh, that's great. Then I can easily say general. Good morning once again. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Good morning, and thank you.
Of course, I know you have been very busy doing a lot of groundwork ahead of the elections, but I'm sure your attention have been drawn to the fact that the main contender to former President John Dramani Mahama actually shared his vision for us about, I think 2 days ago. His key message is that he's been driver's mate for all these years. What he's asking for is to be made the driver. Do you agree? What do you think about that?
Thank you very much. Let me clarify that I didn't watch at the point of delivery, but as I indicated on other platforms, I recorded and I've now read every bit of what he said. And to me, there is nothing in there that merits so much attention. But since you asked about this specific question of being a driver or being a mate and so on, I refer you to the gospel according to St. John, chapter 10. When you read, it tells a story about how Jesus was warning his disciples that they will deny him. And Peter kept saying that, no, my Lord, wherever you go, I'll go with you.
I love Radio God.
And then He turned and told Peter that Peter, before the cock crows, you would have denied me 3 times. I think that if you read the Bible, that Bible story, it tells you exactly what is happening between Nanado and Dr. Bawumia. Because here was the case. You know, Dr. Bawumia, he was as close to Nanado, and Nanado was as proud with Dr. Bawumia the same way that Jesus Christ took Simon Peter. And they thought they were so close that anything that Jesus will do, anywhere that Jesus will go, Peter promised to be with him. And Jesus told Peter that Peter, before the cock crows, you would have denied me 3 times today. And exactly it came to pass. When they came to arrest Jesus, some of the soldiers said, but this is one of his people. And Peter says, I never knew that man at all. They persisted, and 3 times he said that he had nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Then after that, Jesus turned and looked into Peter's face. And then Peter remembered all the warnings that Jesus gave. And he went to weep. So that is exactly the story between Nanado and Dr. Bawumia. So I am not surprised. All will unfold in the coming days. But let me tell you that it is too late for Bawumia to distance himself from Nanado. And it will be suicidal for Bawumia to do that. I recognize the job of Bawumia now is very, very, very difficult. In fact, I would say that his job in this campaign is much more difficult than any other manual job. He has to define himself whether he will take credit for the work of Nanado and therefore share in the blame of the shortcomings of Nanado's regime, or distance himself completely as not having anything to do with how this country has been governed in the past 7 years. There is no middle way for him. And it will be very difficult because he has been presented to us as the key actor on the economy, even before the election of Nanado. And after the election, that relationship or agency has been perpetuated to a point that he cannot now turn and say that I am not the agent of Nanado in the economic management of this country. He cannot deny that because the records are too plenty for him to attempt to deny. In fact, the more he tries to deny that relationship, the more he deepens his record as a liar or an untrustworthy person. So it's definitely between the hard rock, a rock and a hard place.
Why would he need to either distance himself from the record of this government or actually accept responsibility for it? Because listening to him, it was clear in his mind that when it comes to the main issue of the economy, even when in COVID where the economy performed so badly, they still did better than the economy that former President John Dramani Mahama ran. If that is his position, then he should feel that he's still better than the main contender, shouldn't he?
No, but before you go into that conversation, he said that they did better. Is he aligning himself with the management of the economy in the past 7 years? That is the big question he has to answer. If you are part of it, then you can argue that you perform better. But if you are not part of it, why are you comparing somebody's record with another person when you want to be voted for?
Okay. So
I thought you were comparing your record with another person's record, and it is on that basis that you can claim that since you have done better than him, you deserve to be retained or promoted. But now you are saying, part of your mouth is saying that you are just a driver's mate. You have nothing to do with anything that has happened in as far as the economy management is concerned in the past 7 years. So how do you then take credit for what has happened, even if it is better than President Mahama's record? The big question he has to address. So if I were him, I won't run away from that record. Say that this is what we have done. And these are the mistakes that we committed. And I think that from hindsight, we will do things better if we are allowed to continue. That makes more sense than saying that I don't have anything to do with the management of the economy. I was powerless. I was a mere, vice president and so on. We understand that we are running a system with executive authority vested in the president. That there is no doubt about that. But the president chooses whom he uses to implement or design his policies or manage on his behalf any work. And the president has said a number of times that it is you, Dr. Bawumia, who he has put in charge of the management of the economy. Indeed, the economic management team is chaired by Dr. Bawumia. And Dr. Bawumia himself was the person who actually inaugurated the economic management team. And when he named the persons, he remarked that what a solid team. He selected each member of the economic management team, read his profile and credentials, and at the end of it, said, what a solid team. It didn't end there. Then, after 1 year of being in power, the president having to report to Parliament about the performance or the state of the nation, the president actually declared. That was 2018 State of the Nation. I was present, and I watched the lips of Nana Dodauko Akufo-Addo, who read some economic indicators and touted them as success, and then said emphatically that he chose his vice president because of his ability, his knowledge in running the economy. And the vice president in the past year has risen to the challenge. And hence this impressive record. So everything is thanks to the brilliance of my vice president, Dr. Mamudu Bawumia. Mamudu Bawumia himself was present. He has never, till this day, he has never said that he had nothing to do with the management of the economy until yesterday when he was reading his address. And even yesterday, his communication was ambivalent. On the one side, he was claiming credit for what he considered to be economic achievements. And then on the other side, he was saying he was dodging the blame for whatever had gone wrong. So that paints a picture of a leader who does not take responsibility for decisions he makes. And such a person will be a very dangerous leader for the country.
So for you, the very first point he needs to address is whether or not he is responsible for the record of the government.
Yes. And as I have said, he has denied Nanado completely. And you know, the day he was elected, did you watch Nanado? Did you listen to his speech? He said that this remaining last year, he will devote all his efforts to make sure that he hands over to Dr. Bawumia. And Bawumia also confirmed that he had come this far totally due to the effort of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So this is Peter and Jesus Christ. And then you haven't gone 1/3 of the year and you have begun denying Nanado. They mean everything has gone wrong in the government on him. Exclusively. And that you were a mere vice president and you had nothing to do. You were not given the chance to operate and all that. Look, and what shocked me was that a story about that he had nothing to do with that. He disagrees with that.
For a bush for yensa mama kwaba and some of her mamma and former daily of this so. Now Yakotia no chairman general eka nyansa sem and I say or pito nyansa sem edi agu Bawumia trim or chereni nyansa or no chese or no ejumano or bemache and as a politician no we di a church a bamu nyansa yen name says Nketiah web politician why I change to munim the skills no. And I know two Bawumia for a canonym ye pa ye nim nano ada nsema Bawumia bekan Bawumia pese oye smart bi wa ha etifo ye nim komo ha na fa comment show Bawumia dwin se Ghana for ref is on the head of economic and as well the chairperson for economic department for Ghana onim se okasi nim na untimi nkan jam se etifo for example to say oyo chirichiri ni your headmaster. Now, chiri no. What information be say or china your holiday and the headmaster and entry. A tip for me can't say me patch say. Se Bawumia patch say ye two Obama no be president no be taxes winning everywhere. Or patch say or no or nyawe. Or nyawe and I'm say Bawumia and Timmy can't rest or nyawe or Yahweh but a ye and trona old Chagana for. Because how are all money speech in portray say on winning monshi so be levy flow. I didn't know now see a beboa my gun and your revenue. One house is a more a hagana for be year for all the taxes. So all patches say are you to play open say yeah farm full analysis. Economic head chairperson all patches say yes see a levy crano chairman sebo so didn't birthday or year Samira ni kutra kick him. According to source. It's Bawumia intimi me say according to him being the economic chairperson levy ni sani maniama taxes are abeto Ghana for nyina so no onim ho hwe Bawumia kasa dia ye njintum onim ho bibi pa because say ana me my example be say wo chire din kura to say wo chine holiday na headmaster. So definitely you must be involved in all this decision now or muteki you are the major stakeholder wo mi sa meeting ni nyina mu yes say e-levy kura na wo design say e-levy beboa, so with that no we should close all toll booths. Let's just say Bawumia afeli Akufo-Addo afeli, but say wo yi atu Akufo-Addo kon nti say Nketiah ka say me say eswa say o betray Akufo-Addo aye no say ono de won ka ho bi. And no cry, you are making Ghanaians to become more angry. Because when Akufo-Addo running government, we say bibinya no. You have to rather accept the blame. Say, oh, Ghana from fan cheye. Said ye na mususu ye no, ya mamun says form. Into the mode monsanfa power may be. Ni enfant to near me. Asiedu Nketiah way a better. Ka we so etwa asumu ma admit fact no say yen to me ya mamu says for nti monfa nche so Ghana for betimi I say oh engo for edi no kre so matimi apel mu aka say oh say ni say dey yen so on beto ama because one we di no kre why faithful to them and no cry better say all the wine as a one kan as etie for comment show I had daily update TV so ene na ahwe djuma di ni bia tembi aboro me djuma edusumeti for na hwefo 24/7 na me sure stay tuned, stay connected.